You ready?
Yep. You ready?
Yup.
So, basically, doing an update from the last tier list. Last tier list, we ranked all these maps.
What's going on, you guys? It's your boy.
Yeah, anyways, so just skipping all. We'll touch on some of the old maps, some of the old rankings if needed. Because I feel like, there's just so many great maps that you got to talk about. But the purpose of this tier list is to rank, since the last month, all the zombies experiences that we've had up to the recent Citadel Des Morts map, which is kind of what like the last month's objective was. It was to play more zombies. The passion's there again. Black Ops 6 is incredible. And then it was to grind as many maps as we could, including Black Ops 3 custom maps, into Citadel Des Morts launch.
Some of the custom maps came out swinging for sure.
Yep. So I've ordered it. These are kind of all this new tier, all that we've done. And then this bottom row is stuff that is kind of next on the block. But, I mean, I think we can just kind of start with the quick ones, get these two out of the way. Town Reimagined, custom map, very, very good. A much needed improvement on the original Town. I mean, Town was already an amazing map, but I feel like also I'm going to edit my Town now that I have it up here. I'm going to move Town down to an A. And I'm going to move it below. I'm going to move it to above Kino. I feel like Town and Darice are great survival maps, but Town Reimagined, it's like, I don't really have the experience of it playing with friends, because we only played it one time just to see what it was. They added the bowling alley area. They have the Easter egg song, which was fucking rockstar song. Song's sick. But, I mean, it's better than the original Town. I feel like it adds a whole new training spot that's vibey for someone else to do. But, like, I don't really have any experience on it, so where do I rank it on the other Town? I think I'll put it right above the other Town.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, the additions they made were good. Did we even check if it had an Easter egg associated with it?
I don't think so, but I doubt it has a full Easter egg and boss fight.
And the bowling alley is a nice place to train. Probably the easiest place to train on that map now that it's added. And they also have all the OG Black Ops 2 weapons, which was cool to go back and mess around with, like the FNFAL.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably put it right above the other Town.
Town Reimagined. Yeah, I mean, it's a great survival map. I enjoyed all the additions. The Easter egg song was really cool. Or is it going to go in the bowling alley? Yeah. So, like, that bowling alley is a great addition.
Yep.
And they made a couple of other additions, it looks like, too, but we didn't really explore it that much. So, there it goes. Naruto. I really enjoyed Naruto.
Okay. For this one, we gotta break up the objective ranking versus your opinion ranking.
Okay,
because they're gonna be on opposite sides of the fucking tier list. I can guarantee you that.
Well, you can start it off. Well, the stage was, this was the very first, was it the first? I think it was.
Yeah.
Like, we were just playing, I think we were playing Black Ops 6 about a month ago, and then we were talking about custom zombies maps, and we were on the workshop, and then I saw this, and I was like, let's fucking give it a try, give it a whirl, and it was a blast. I really had a ton of fun on this map. I'm trying to find the video of it, but yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah, if you see Naruto, you know what's happening in the story. It's funny to see Sasuke and all those people come at you like zombies, and the dog routes are insane. It's an enjoyable map if you've seen Naruto, but objectively, it's like 3 rooms.
Shit! I just killed Naruto.
Costs like 10K to open.
I'm the main character of this story. I'm the protagonist.
But Objectively, I'd say it's like a C tier map,
I'm the protagonist.
but based on the enjoyment I got out of it, seeing these fucking
Yeah, it's like
Naruto characters.
the graphics are dog shit. The map itself is pretty dog shit when it comes to a layout. Like, you mainly just have this village area and then the Pack-a-Punch room, and you're just training. But I just love the personality it has. Like, all the
Yeah.
like when Pain spawns in, it's his own theme song. There's a bunch of
Yeah,
different
yeah,
theme
that's
songs for
cool.
each of the mini bosses. I can't remember which one it was. Like, maybe it was Pain, but yeah, it's like his super like crazy song. And then there was, who was the other mini boss? Madara. Yeah, Madara came in.
Madara.
Yeah, they had a bunch of like, I just thought it was hilarious. They would bring in the mini bosses and then they'd have their own theme songs, which were epic. I love training around with all. They had like a bunch of IW and AW weapons, and I mean, basically the objective is to get, I think, 50,000 points to get Tsunade Big Tits to help you escape. But this is all the map has, is this main area. I would say from the experience we had, I would give it a, let's see.
I'd probably put it in A, just off of the experience.
Where did I put it? Oh,
I
right
don't
here.
know.
Yeah. I would probably move this up, like, as a map, objectively, it's pretty bad. But the creativity, the enjoyment, I would give it an A.
The theme songs and all that.
I would probably, gameplay-wise, rather run Town Reimagine. But I think the fun and just the uniqueness of Naruto's map, I would give it A.
Yeah, it's a good once in a while. You just run it to have fun and
Yeah. Like,
Run
if there was 50 custom zombies maps all about around anime that had this same structure to them, I would play them all, just as a fun experience. All right, I mean, are we talking about the GOAT? Are we talking about?
Yeah, we are.
Fuck girl, we are. All right,
Okay, before you go into your
my script.
15-minute long
There you go.
monologue,
What's your ranking?
my ranking is top of S tier or bottom of SS.
You're a dumbass. You're a dumbass.
Hear me out. The map is amazing in almost every way possible.
Orgasmic.
It takes a lot of aspects from Moon, but it makes the annoying aspects from Moon a lot less annoying. Like having the masks so you don't drown when you have the hacker in the water. And the reason why this gets put down into S tier or bottom of SS is because the excavators can block off the entire map. It, like, if you're on the wrong side and the excavators go down, you literally can't do anything. You're just stuck on that side of the map unless you use a Gersh device.
Yeah, which is a
randomly
sick ass
teleport across.
counterplay.
That's not a sick ass counterplay.
Yeah, that's
And
an insane
the
play.
reason they did it on purpose, because when the excavator goes down, what the only door you could use to get to the other side is closed off. But
Yeah.
other than that, this has so many side Easter eggs, so many of the best side Easter eggs, like the time trials from Gorod Krovi. It has the sharks that you can shoot in the water for power-ups and the mask. It has the golden ABA, the God mask,
Yeah.
so much stuff. A full-fledged Easter egg. It definitely, and the fact that this was made by modders too. I mean, it deserves its ranking for sure. It deserves it. I think I'm gonna put it in the bottom of SS. There's just some glaring flaws that keep it from the top of SS.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
to say that it's an understatement that it's only in the bottom of the top tier, only in the bottom or like top 5 maps. That's an understatement. That's how good this map really is. I mean, it's the peak of the peak. It's the tippity top of this mountain. It's the best of the best. I would say Leviathan is my favorite map of all time. I'm gonna go ahead and give it the. Oh, nice. I'll do that screen and screen right here. I'll give Leviathan literally top of the top. I mean, it's my GOAT. It is my favorite zombies map. My favorite zombies experience of all time. I mean, thematically, Well, I guess first off, no zombies map is perfect, right? Like none of the zombies maps, even Shadows, Origins, all the SS tiers, none of them are perfect, and I think that's what makes all the different zombies maps replayable because they give you
Yeah,
something
but
different.
none of them have problems where you're just stuck and can't do shit.
Yeah, I mean Leviathan has excavators, and I feel like they also missed out on the special rounds. The leapers don't make any sense. Gameplay wise, they're fantastic because the time trials and the free perks. But it should have been sharks. It should have been crabs, something aquatic. So I feel like that was out of place. And then I also feel like there should have been more sound design. Like there wasn't really a iconic theme or just when you're playing IW zombies, all the maps have so much personality and the sound and like the music that's playing throughout the map, but this just doesn't have that. I mean, you can throw on your own music, but ignoring
I
those
mean,
very, very few blemishes, this
before you
map,
go on,
yeah.
we need to talk about the Wonder Weapon.
No, I'm
It
going to
is
get there. I'm going to
the
get there.
best Wonder Weapon ever.
Yes.
Ever in all of zombies.
Yes.
The skill gap and the ways that you can utilize this Wonder Weapon are amazing. Such thought and creativity put into just one weapon. I love it so much. It's my favorite Wonder Weapon out of anything in all of zombies history.
And as Aquaman, as Black Manta, I appreciate you saying that for me because that is true. I mean, it's facts, straight up facts. But yeah, I'd say Leviathan thematically is unfuckwittable. We know me. I'm Aquaman. The sea is mine. Like this map was literally made for me. And you already mentioned the Boon inspirations. I never played Moon before this, so I didn't really realize all the different mechanics and stuff that they pulled in from that map. But they improved on all of them. I love the submarine dynamic. It holds like the pack-a-punch. It has this keypad right here this guy's using that allows you to like do a bunch of different power-up spawns. You can get free Gershes, free QEDs, just a bunch of quality of life stuff, like even activating the excavators. So that was sick. And you use it in Easter egg steps. What else? The mass system's great. All the different ways that you can upgrade them too, and then also the different perks that they give you.
The Easter egg isn't short, but it's not annoying either.
Yep.
And
The
all the steps, like all the fun steps that you've seen throughout like COD Zombies history, they've added into here. Like lockdown steps, difficult lockdown steps too. And Samantha Says they got it all going on.
the
And two bosses.
God damn it! I was gonna say that.
All right, I'll let you talk. How
Yeah.
long is this monologue gonna go on?
The hacker device is one of the coolest devices ever. One of the coolest things. It does so much for this map. Like I wish that this was in every single map in some form because it just lets you do so many cool things like the opening up doors cheap, hacking or respinning the mystery box, the power-ups, changing those to max ammos, which is a huge part of the high round strats. Like it's just so great. And then the buildables, I feel like they've got a great top tier line of buildables. You have the shield, you have the Poseidon's Trident, the 1-inch punch.
Ways you can use the Poseidon's Trident against the mini bosses.
Yeah,
as well.
the tech on that and the harpoon gun and its upgrades. So I feel like they've got a good balance. Not too many buildables, but enough to where it feels like you can learn the map and where the parts are. And then, yeah, the Easter egg is so sick. I would say it's actually my favorite Easter egg of all the zombies experiences. Like the map itself thematically is my favorite, but the fact that the map has my favorite Easter egg too, that just doubles down on why I love it so much because it has everything I want, not too tedious, not too short. All the steps make sense with the actual lore of the map, like what you're trying to do, building a submarine, letting this guy escape.
It's
get
not
to the
like
surface.
Revelations where you're just shooting random
Yeah.
rocks in the sky. They actually make sense. And I mean, given enough time, you could probably figure out the Easter egg steps
Yep.
on your own.
But it has just enough of, it has a great balance of like puzzles and mystery solving, the time challenges like the uranium step, getting that through the water, the gameplay challenges like the lockdowns and the boss fights. And like you said, like I was going to say, a lot of maps don't have a single boss fight, and yet they're up high. Like a lot of, like, I mean, I'm looking at all the Black Ops 1 maps, but in this map, they have two fucking bosses, and not just two bosses, two epic, incredible bosses. The diver boss reminds me of the keeper from Der Eisendrache, and except it's much better. It has better mechanics, better gameplay. It's just actually good. And the tech that we were talking about with the Poseidon's Trident, where you pull it out to one-shot him, is just goated. Like, that's such a sick mechanic. Because that dude is genuinely insane without that trick. His harpoon gun has the impale that definitely did not World Star me.
Yeah.
And then the final boss against Leviathan is literally perfect. It's the setting's perfect. His design is perfect. Getting a hit marker on any of his weak spots is orgasmic. He has several different attacks, like he has the giant tentacles in the corners of the map that'll come down and concuss you and just shatter your screen. He has the fire beam that'll take your health down. He'll throw random projectiles. There's second phase, the diver boss comes down, right? The diver boss comes down and he drops by to fuck your day up. And that's on top of everything else. So imagine running around this tiny cargo ship and you're getting blasted by the harpoon randomly. You get stun locked into a random wall, and then you have 20 zombies nibbling at your cock while the boss, the Leviathan, the actual Kraken boss, has a one-shot nuke that just clears the fucking ship. And you gotta hide behind this teeny weeny cargo container as the screen just lights up blue.
And the hitbox on that shit, like,
it's
you
strict.
have to be right behind the cargo container to not die.
Yeah, it knows where it wants to hit, and it's a rush. That boss fight's a rush. You get red screen we beat it. We never died or failed it, but we got red screened. We went down multiple times, red screen multiple times. It's simply
That's
fantastic.
We were so set up. I mean, we had awful lot.
Yeah, if we didn't have
utility weapons
and like using the tech with the wonder weapon on the diver boss, like there's a lot of things that we had prepped to make sure we were successful, but it's still an insanely difficult and rewarding boss fight. But the last thing on this map, I feel like that is going to tie into the wonder weapon, is the high rounding. I mean, it is some of the most fun.
Is the map the greatest, or not the greatest? Not only is the map great, and the Easter eggs great, but also the high rounding with the wonder weapon is so versatile that it's just so much more fun. You could set up in so many different places.
Yeah, you literally, like, first off, atmospherically, so much of this map I could train on. All the open water areas, a bunch of different areas inside the base too, like the diver boss arena is an amazing arena. And then the round 100 strat blows my mind how they do that with, if you see that. But yeah, it's really the wonder weapon, the harpoon gun, because first off, it is the ultimate wonder weapon. It is like my favorite wonder weapon ever created, probably ever made, and ever will be made. And thematically, it just bricks me up using Black Mana's gun, and it instantly clears a room, no matter where you shoot it. If there's any zombie in front of you, behind you, to the sides, they get fucking flatlined. And it's like the ultimate thunder gun feel to it. And then when you have the upgrade, you get the trap version, where you can shoot 2 to make an electric trap. And setting that up, like just going around the map, finding all the different crazy little setups that you can do. We tried almost every room, every area on this map in our round 53 Easter egg run. Yeah, most of them, pretty much all of them worked, especially when you use the hacker to get free max ammos. I mean, it's like a foolproof strat. And then we found this final one, like right here to the left of the spawn with the buildable table, because you can get a free trap as well.
That one's the best by far, though.
Yeah, it's like the most elite one, but I mean, just all the different crazy... We even did the one where the diver boss in the lockdown step, when he comes out of the little closet, we even went in that as a playable area and tried it. So I feel like the wonder weapon is the best it's ever been, the best it ever will be. The high round strats, the Easter egg, the map as a whole, and all the content, it's my favorite zombies experience. Like, it really just doesn't come close, and yeah, it's number one for me.
I will say,
that's my soapbox.
The other reason why it's not top of SS is because the map is so confusing sometimes.
It is.
I mean, before you get the hang of it, it feels like you're just walking around just wondering where the fuck you're supposed to be going.
Yeah, it's kind of like Shadows and a bunch of those bigger maps where there's so many different areas you can go. But in this case, it was harder to feel it out and figure out where stuff worked.
Most of the stuff looks sort of the same.
But once you know it, like once you finally get it to click, you know it, and it's so good to just, especially the movement on this map. I didn't mention that, but I love you have Black Ops 3, the jump slide infinite, and there's a lot of long corridors that you can abuse that on. And then anywhere in the open water, it's like Moon, where you can just jet ski around. And if you have the ray gun or the Mauser starting pistol, by the way, that they have in the fucking submarine, that's sick. You can fly. It's fantastic. So it's
Yeah.
number one. My favorite zombies experience ever. Um, I mean, I would love just because we did the Easter egg once before we did a bunch of the grind. Because that was the thing is we played Black Ops 6 Zombies, and then we did a few Der Eisendrache and a couple custom maps like this and the ones we just talked about. But then we had a specific week, the week before last, to just grind out the maps, all the different maps. And I would love to go back to Leviathan and do another round 100. I mean, it was, yeah.
Yeah.
But following up,
Fucking
the
lit.
peak of the peak, the tippity top, we've got Der Eisenshit. So
Okay. Okay. Wait.
I just
So
want
we
you
went
don't
back.
as you're like slowly speaking. I just want you to see this and you give me a nod. You tell me if you agree, right? I had this, FYI, an S tier, bottom of S, which was blasphemy. This is where it's going now.
Blasphemy.
This is where it's going now.
Oh, shit. No. I can't agree with that. I can't agree with that.
Okay.
Okay.
How about this?
Me personally, I would put Der Eisendrache in A tier. Now, wait. Before you get your panties in a bundle, there are some legitimate good points about this map. There are. And all the ideas in concept or on paper, all the concepts on paper seem good. They do. But when you're in the Easter egg, and first of all, the only reason to play this map is for the Easter egg, so that puts it down already. But when you're in the Easter egg and you're doing all these tedious steps, like the whisk step, how it can glitch out half the fucking time, and
I think we figured that out though, is
The-
because the Widow's Wine.
yeah, and like non-upgraded bows and shit. I don't know. It's weird. It should just work, but it doesn't sometimes. And the entire time, there's no difficulty or challenge. And then you get to the end, and the Panzers spawn in, and the Panzers insta-kill you when they spawn in. I mean, the difficulty just goes from 0 to 100, and it doesn't feel rewarding. It doesn't feel like a proper challenge because you've been bored, almost trying to not fall asleep for the entirety of this Easter egg. And most people aren't going to feel this way, but this is what happens when you run this map 20 times over and over and over again. This is what happens. You get tired of the Easter egg, the novelty of it wears off, and you realize that the map isn't well designed difficulty-wise throughout the entirety of it.
Yep.
It's super easy, and then it's extremely difficult. I mean,
You're capturing you're capturing it right now. I mean, you're killing all the points I would have said. Like, I mean, it's exactly as you're saying it. It's the
But-
novelty wears off.
all that being said,
I mean,
the vibe is pretty decent. The Easter egg, story-wise, is amazing. And the final cutscene, or whatever you call it, where they blow up the moon, wonderful. And the speed run for this map is probably one of the best speed runs that's
disagree.
out there.
I don't think it fucking matters compared to like 5 other maps.
No,
I could
because
name
there's
5
not
others.
that much RNG, and there's so many cool techniques, like with the plunger, how you can teleport back in time without needing to do the second whiz step.
I like RNG. Not as a speedrunner, probably not, but as a spectating speedrunner, yeah, I like RNG. I want to see something that's just a magical run that probably can't be
And-
done.
That's why I think I gotta put DE in A tier.
Didn't you have it in A tier before? I mean, not much of a
I
statement.
had it in A+.
Not much of a statement.
I had it in A+.
Oh,
And
my
I
bad.
dropped it down to A.
Well, I'm sticking to my guns. This map is B for booty. Because, look, and I don't even like have that scripted. That's just what it is. It's bum-ass cheeks. This map, I mean, it's...
On the first 5 attempts, maybe
yes.
this map is...
That's what I'm saying when I said you captured it. Because if you, like you said, if you are a spectator, if you've never played this map and you just watch reviews or watch people play it, watch the community talk about it, or you play it yourself once or twice, you may throw it in top 5. You may think it's such a perfect casual but yet difficult and hardcore map.
And that's not a bad take.
Yeah.
But when you play it 20 times...
Because the issue is...
boy, does it fall off.
Yes, because the issue is we've gotten to a point with this Easter egg where I was looking up all the different tips and tricks, and we've wanted to beat this map so fucking bad so many times. We've been so close so many times. And I thought there was a breakthrough when we found the trap by double tap and how it infinitely spawns zombies. And when we first tried it, it was kind of cool to see us on like round 2 or 3 with like 1,000 zombie kills all set up for the Easter egg. But the problem with that strat is the game plays at a snail's pace, and literally every step of the Easter egg is so easy. It's a cakewalk when you do that it becomes boring. And like you were saying, we just wait for an hour. You're just going through the motions, kind of bored out of your mind. And then out of nowhere, the Panzer. Which, my honest thoughts on why this map goes from S tier to B tier is the Panzers can suck my ass. Get rid of them. Get them out of the game. They were better in Origins anyways. How many times have we failed that keeper step? I remember a year ago. I have like actual memories, vivid memories of a year ago on that mule kick area with the keeper on like the last step of the lockdown, and a Panzer just shitting all over us. And it happened again where we spend an hour doing this tedious setup with, it's not even tedious, it's just like boring. And then we get to the keeper step, we're at mule kick, and nowhere this Panzer spawns in and gives us back shots, and we insta die. And the boss fight, which...
The flamethrower on the Panzer does way too much damage. You don't even get red screened. You don't
just
even
die.
get fucking red screened. You just instantly die when you're close to him and he decides to light up his fucking blood.
And the little electric thing that trips you up, annoying as shit. And the boss fight, which by the way, everybody praises. Everybody talked about this. Oh, it's the first boss fight. Oh, it's one of the best boss fights of zombies. Shut the fuck up. No, it's not. This boss fight isn't even a boss fight. It's not even about the keeper. It's literally about, can you survive the Panzers? That's what this boss is. It's now, when we first played it and we got insta-killed by the keeper mechanic, that was kind of funny. And I enjoyed it. But once you learn that and you just go in, you put the DDGs down, you go through the motions, it's really just that second or third phase when the Panzers come out and surviving it. So I don't even think it's that good of a boss fight. Like I said, the diver boss from Leviathan, which was a mid.
The boss is literally just 7 Panzers, or however many spawn.
Yep.
It's a ridiculous number of Panzers, too.
Yep. Like Drake said, the more I play this map, the less I like it. And the whole Easter egg storyline is okay, and the ending, but that's the only reason people gas this map, is because of that. And you can, if you really want to, like we have, because we've never beaten this piece of shit map, you can just watch the YouTube video on it, because that's all we've done. And it's absolutely terrible and sad.
Crazy. Not only that, but it's insane that it has taken us like 10 times less attempts to beat the Gorod Crove Easter egg than this god-forsaken fucking Easter egg.
Yep. It's sad. I feel like that's going to be one of the most controversial takes for sure, but it deserves it. It deserves it. I'm not backing down. Now, let's go to Zetsubo, because that was right after we played DE.
Zetsubo? A+ tier map.
I would
A+ tier map for sure.
Like, do I need to add an A+? I feel like I do.
Yeah, I think you do.
I'll just add it. We'll do different color here.
Zetsubo. I I had a bunch to say on this map
I would
last time,
my
but
yeah.
yeah, but this time around, going back, going through it again, I have that much more appreciation for the map. I think one of the big problems, um, at least for high rounding, is the thrashers. And another slight problem is that 3 rounds for a single plant is a little extreme. I would rather have 2, but I understand why they did 3, so they could add so many more mechanics to the plants themselves. Like, I mean, the imprint is amazing. The fact that you can get a plant to hold a zombie for an hour. The fact that you can get a plant that acts like a monkey bomb. You can get plants that give you power-ups, weapons, like perks too. Anything that you could dream of in this map, the plants can provide that. And I think the plant mechanics make this map so much more interesting than a lot of the other ones. Because just the different if you know the different combinations of waters to add in, you can do so much tech with the plants.
Yeah. I wish.
Not only that,
go ahead.
Not only that, but I said it before and I'll say it again. The part where you have to go down into that little tiny claustrophobic hole to water the plant 3 rounds and come back up. I love that part. I love it. There's no zombies down there, but that doesn't fucking matter because you're holding your fucking cock, wishing that you don't fucking drown down there if you don't have jug.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd be holding your cock, but I mean, it's okay. Like I didn't find it that insane. For me, I didn't play Zetsubo before this, and I think I would have said it would have been like a mid-tier map. But after having played it, we did a 5-hour experience. I would say it wasn't amazing, it wasn't terrible, but it was great. It was an A+ tier map, better than I expected. Had some trial and error the first few attempts learning the map, but then when we did the full Easter egg and we built everything and did some high round setups, I really enjoyed it. The aura on this map is a lot better than I expected. I still don't care for the jungle forest theme, but I thought it was vibey enough. The KT
Easter egg is definitely fun.
The Easter egg had highs and lows. Some steps were awesome, some were weak sauce. The boss fights were mid. I didn't think the spider boss was that cool, and the final boss was a fucking joke. The KT-44 is a fun upgrade quest, but it doesn't compare to the Sluka Fire, but it's solid. Like you said, the plant system isn't my favorite, but it's interesting. And just like all the BO3 maps, it feels unique. The map has personality with all the cobwebs and stuff. There's just so much thought that got put into it. Even though the thought and what it goes for isn't what I'm necessarily interested in, I still think that they went for something. And I also, shout out to Skull and Non-Sopway. That thing was a beast. I loved using that. I love
that.
Yeah, that's a great specialist. I love the final moments too when we were in the elevator by the final boss doing high round strats. I just think overall it's a great map. It's better than DE for me, and it gets A+.
Yep. Zetsubo.
Holy shit!
All right, Gorod Crovey. God, I still think Gorod has one of the best Easter eggs in COD Zombies history.
I just want you to see this. Just want you to see this.
Where is he putting it? A+? SS? Really? Oh, man. He finally sees the truth. He finally sees the light, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna let you speak on this.
I appreciate that because I had some words for this one. So the main issue I had with GK, and I'm gonna get this going up here. Gorod Crovey Easter egg. Let's see the speed run. So the main issue I had with this map is that one, it was your map, and I know that's such a weird reason. But I kind of feel like it was the situation when you chose Reiko as your MK1 main. It's like it can't be mine when it's yours. And that was one issue. The other is that thematically, GK just doesn't have the same power that... Can I stop with this Fortnite? God, just move on. Anyways.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Just,
dude.
just stay. Just
Dude,
stay. Just stay.
I'm sticking it. I'm sticking it. Thematically, it setting wise, vibe wise, it just cannot compete with like Leviathan, with Shadows, Origins, Zombies in Spaceland. I feel like that's the weakest part to me, is that it just is not my style. It's not my or I don't know what to say. Like, my soul is not attracted to this map. But
It doesn't have the right aesthetic.
gameplay wise, it is almost perfect. I would say GK gets the biggest W award from that week. When we grinded all the maps, I believe GK deserves that award, because out of all of
We
them,
did it first try.
yep,
On
out
that
of
week.
all of the maps, GK was my favorite experience of that week. It was like, I remember beating the boss fight and the emotions we had, and they were never topped for the rest of the time. It had, we started off the week, if you remember, on the Tuesday night. We failed DE multiple times for a few hours. Started off depressing, and then we decided to run GK. And
Well, we did Zets
no,
right after that.
we did GK before it. I think maybe I'm misremembering.
I thought we did Zets.
Maybe
before.
maybe my upload was just off, because I had GK before. But yeah, maybe we did Zets. But I remember I was not a big on the GK. I was going to do it at some point, but then I was watching some tips and tricks, and I was really interested in it. And I remember going into it thinking this was going to be the hardest map. Like, that I wanted to play it, but I knew it was going to be difficult. And somehow we first tried it. It was a 2-hour and 58-minute Easter egg. Long as hell. We went down several times. There were so many moments where it was supposed to be over, but somehow we fucking made it happen. And what shocked me the most about this experience was just how much fun I had during the entire thing. The Easter egg was awesome. All the steps had a different challenge that felt rewarding to beat, because there were so many close calls. I'm not a big ray gun guy, but the Mark III was incredible. I love the tech where, like, you shoot one end and then you have to shoot at that specific bullet to make it kind of like a monkey bomb. The side content too, like the Mangler helm and all that stuff, was great. The Fafnir shield.
We didn't even upgrade the shield either.
Yeah, we didn't, but the Fafnir shield, even without that, is one of my favorite shields. It's one of the best. The Gauntlet of Siegfried's super fun too, especially the movement tech. And the boss fight is one of my favorites in Zombies now. That's why it's up here. The gameplay and the boss fight is why GK is my number 2, because I think even though Shadows and Origins might have more of a aesthetic to it, might have more content or just something about them, I think Garad Crovey, from a gameplay perspective, I would run that Easter egg. I would run that boss fight again and again. And the boss fight is insanely hard without the right setup. It has 2 distinct phases that all feel super badass. Like, you got the dragon phase, where he's breathing fire all over the arena, and you're pulling out the shield, just tanking that shit. Like, you're just eating it. And then you've got the what's his name? Nikolai. You got Nikolai in the metal suit, who's dropping raps on you. I mean, that dude, if you're not set up with the idle eyes or something, and you just let him run hog wild, he will nuke you with those raps and everything else. That is a difficult ass fight. So I love the challenge of it, and just the uniqueness of each phase, and just how badass it is, the arena and everything. It's phenomenal. And then the last surprise, just like Leviathan, was the high rounding. I still don't think that it's a great map for training for specific lockdown areas. It's not that cool of a map. But when we were in the spawn area by Quick Revive, and I was just spamming the Raygun Mark III, using the monkeys, building up the gauntlet, and then just zipping around, one-shot knifing everything, Hamboni Zoni, that was a ton of fun. I had a blast doing the high rounds, and so that was amazing. So it's one of those maps that completely shocked me. I knew that I had it, I think, an S, and you had hyped it up to where I could say it would be SS, but it not only is it SS, I genuinely would say it's better than all of these. I mean, I may have to review that, but like right now, my feeling on it, wanting to just if I'm Easter egging it out, I think I would rather Garad Crovey Easter egg than all 3 of the ones behind.
And there's no dull moment in the Easter egg. You know how we went on DE another great example of the difference between a quality map that's replayable versus a map that's not replayable and the quality goes down after multiple replays is that DE, if you don't go down to the rocket during dog rounds or when you actually get a power up, you have to wait for that rocket for fucking ever. And you're just sitting there training, waiting for that fucking rocket. And sure, Gorod takes some elements of like a timed, when the dragon comes and breathes fire, you have to wait for that. But it is nowhere near the length that you have to wait for the rocket. You have to wait maybe a minute tops for the fire to come down and breathe.
Yeah.
And it's just such a more fluid map. There are so many intense moments. The diffusal step, the valve step, the Gersh step, the trying to fight Gersh throughout the map. I mean, that was
I feel like every round you can be doing something immediately from round one, and there's the Easter egg is paced so well. Like, I don't know. There's just something. Yeah, Horizon Drug sucks ass, but I just needed to say that.
And
but yeah.
the fact that the 6 challenges that you have to do at the end are in random order, so at any moment when you press that button, it could be the fucking defuse step, and you have to be on top of it.
Yeah, you have to really know the Easter egg. Like, you have to be very well versed in this map.
Yeah, in order to be successful consistently. And I think once you are well versed, this map is so rewarding. So rewarding, because going through the map when you're not well versed, you're like, this is impossible, it is so difficult. But then once you get the knowledge, you know the skips, you know how to do everything consistently and quickly. I mean, it just all falls into place. It feels amazing.
Yeah. The only thing about this map that I would say is that, and it's such I mean, there's a couple things probably, but the one I'm thinking of is the wonder weapons, because I got the ray gun Mark III, which was why I really enjoyed it. But you can only have one, and there's not a lot of other box weapons that excite me in that map. So if you're playing like the 2-player or 4-player and you don't have the ray gun Mark III, you're missing out on a lot of the steps and a lot of the fun. Whereas on a map like Leviathan, sure, you only get one of the harpoon guns, but they also have the zap gun, which I thought was, and the thunder gun, which was incredible, and other stuff.
The ray gun Mark II.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have gotten the ray gun Mark II on Garad, but it's so rare.
But that's such a really minute detail, and maybe the only reason why I think that's a problem is because of how good the ray gun Mark III is. But
it just so much utility in that weapon.
Mm-hmm. So it's SS, it's top tier. One of my favorites now, especially. Evil Christmas is what I have next.
Oh, that's not.
So.
Oh, Evil Christmas.
This was the next morning after the highs of GK, and I mean, just gut reaction, it's going A+. It's going A+. Look,
yeah, I'd probably put it A+. Actually, the boss fight was pretty cool. I'd probably say A+.
It was a jolly old time. For a custom map that's meant to be a joke with this Christmas theme, it has a lot of depth and personality, more than a lot of maps. It blends several zombies games together, IW, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2. It's got the locations of all those maps, the weapons, everything. The rounds have a little Christmas jingle, the perks are stockings, the round count is candy canes. It has a Yeti mini-boss and exploding elves for the special rounds. All the zombies have like their own little Christmas gear too. There's a full main Easter egg that ties into the lore of the map, escorting Santa's reindeer, rebuilding his sleigh, curing Santa, and riding off into the sunset. There is an actual
flamethrower.
Yeah, there's the side Easter eggs like the golden nut and the flamethrower, really fun stuff. And then there's an actual boss fight against Santa himself, which has 3 full phases that build on each other. Like, you have the first one where it's, I guess, the exploding elves, and then it's the exploding elves and the raps, and then it's the exploding elves.
This boss fight is
raps.
better than DE boss fight.
Dude, I literally had that in my note. I said it has 3 full fucking phases, and it gets insane because we even failed the last phase because the other thing is they turn dark on that last phase, which is super vibey. Yeah. And then you've got the raps, the exploding elves, everything but the kitchen sink. And then the boss fight music also had that Christmas theme too, that low key went hard, like the Christmas jingle when it played. And I would say, yeah, this boss fight was better than most, which is crazy to say. I would say it's better than DE's boss. It was better than a ton of bosses.
Because the difficulty actually comes from the boss, not just panzers spawning in infinitely.
Yeah, I feel like if this map was a little bit bigger, a little bit more to do, I would consider throwing it in S tier, maybe even SS. But A plus is really strong.
Yeah.
Next, we have the BO1 maps. So
Ascension, I'm still putting it in B tier.
yeah, for context, there was a lot of dip asses commenting saying, yeah. Why make a video on zombies if you're not even gonna play the maps? Or why I can't believe you have a zombies tier list and you haven't played BO1 DLC. It's like, first off, I didn't grow up on Black Ops 1, and thank God I didn't, because I would never have played these maps in the first place. I mean, we did. People who said that, first off, we have played them now, and it took less than 2 hours to experience everything of Black Ops 1 Zombie DLC. We spent about half an hour on every map. That's all you need to unlock and experience it all, which is pathetic. I mean, absolutely pathetic. The Ascension map was first. It's B tier. It's B tier. The pause to teleport around was cool. Launching the rocket was cool, but nothing special or iconic. The special rounds are dog shit. The
monkeys are horrible. The fact that they can take away your perks is disgusting. Whoever thought of that? There's no unique wonder weapon to this map. It's just the regular old wonder weapons that you have throughout all of Black Ops 1.
Weapons blow diarrhea. There's no content on the map. I think this might have been the first map to do an Easter egg, but I couldn't imagine this Easter egg being anything. So
the Easter egg is getting weapons from the box, getting shit from the box, and shooting a pixel on the map, just a one singular pixel that's white, until it fucking flies up into the sky.
Wow, guys, you really made something there. Yeah,
you guys really did some shit.
Yeah, so B tier, got bored instantly. Shangri-La, same story.
A-tier. I'm putting it in A tier.
Shang,
honestly.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I would say Shang, for me, that one of the issues is that the jungle vibe's just not mine. I did appreciate it when I was playing, like the uniqueness, the personality with the monkeys stealing your perks and changing them around, and like just the jungleness to it. I appreciated what they went for, but I just personally don't jive with it. And there's barely any content to. There is some iconicism with the wonder weapon, like the baby gun is pretty special. But
the way to unlock Pack Punch is super unique.
Yeah, that too. But I feel like nothing else is interesting. There's nowhere to train. There's nothing to do or build on the map. I did see the Easter egg where you do these eclipse steps, which was kind of interesting, but it doesn't stack to any other BO3 or later maps. I got bored instantly. It's Ascension, just a different coat of paint for me. Moon is my favorite BO1 map. I would give it A tier. It's the best, and I'd give it A.
I'd probably put it in A tier as well. There's just so many annoyances on Moon. Yeah. And unlike Leviathan, it doesn't have any way to alleviate those annoyances. The excavators are annoying as hell. Running around with the hacker, if everything's blown out and it's all like decompressed, it's so annoying. So fucking annoying. Yep. And the Easter egg is so much RNG. There's so much RNG on this map, like throughout the entirety of it. The only thing I will say is that they did an exceptional job with the starting room on this map. The starting room is the best starting room in all of Zombies.
I think mechanically it could be up there just for how it works, but from an iconicism or just a aesthetic, not necessarily. But definitely gameplay wise, it's crazy. When you spawn in, they get super strong. By round 3, it takes like 50 knives to fucking kill something.
Yeah, but on Black Ops 3, why do they make it so Jug doesn't always spawn down there? That's just so stupid. If you get Speed Cola down there, there's like no reason to stay. You're just like, all right. I guess I'll...
Like, Moon, to me, best of the map, best of these, because it's also pretty in-depth and has a pretty full-fledged Easter egg. Like you said, there's problems with some of the innovations, but it's one of the most innovative maps. I mean, it did so many new things that a lot of maps still haven't done. So I give it praise for that. I didn't watch the ending of the cutscene, but I mean, you're blowing up the earth. How much more
Yeah,
wild
I
can it
think
get?
this is the first time where a zombies map and a zombies Easter egg plus the ending actually got a bunch of people interested into doing zombies Easter eggs and seeing what the ending cutscene was,
Yeah.
because the ending cutscene was amazing, and it changed zombies as a whole just by doing that one thing where you blow up the earth.
And it also has a zap gun, which I really like.
Yeah, zap gun is pretty cool.
We can go ahead and we didn't do Call of Dead. We did Water Park Zombies and then Rev and then Call of Dead, but let's just finish out Black Ops 1. Call of the Dead, better
B
than
tier.
Ben 8, Ascension, and Shangri-La. I would still give it B tier.
Yeah. The mechanics with George Romero are pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. The zip lining's pretty cool.
The setting is pretty
Other than-
cool.
Yeah, the water mechanics add some different elements in the fact that the water calms down George. There's just it's kind of like Ascension if Ascension had more personality, you know?
Not really, but I mean, yeah.
Or more mechanics to it. Like just more things that you have to think about, like staying in the water, George Romero.
Yep.
The wonder weapons suck fucking dog ass.
Yes.
But
Like, to me, the highlights, the cinematic, like the trailers for this map, when you watch them and the cast of characters and all their dialogue, I think that's the best part. And then George Romero as the map dynamic, those are really what
Andy
stands out.
Trejo is amazing on this map.
But the gameplay's trash. You unlock everything in 10 minutes. Wonder weapons suck ass, and I got bored. It's B tier.
The Easter egg is apparently just decent.
Water Park Zombies. You want to kick this one off? Whoa, look, we're still in the ad. First off, the map
What is that
creator. Can
even
we shout out the map creator? I mean, what a G.
Danny?
What a G.
Danny? So first things first, we got into this map. We downloaded the wrong one because there was this whole debacle with the map creator, how he was trying to rip people off on Transit Remastered and stuff. So there was that whole headache there. But getting into the map, it's like, I don't know, it feels a lot like Zombies in Spaceland. It really does. But there's definitely some more unique aspects.
If I get one more 30-second unskippable ad, I'm going to break this computer. I'm going to break it. Go on.
Anyway,
I'm watching it.
There's a bunch of unique stuff to it as well. I don't know. I feel like if you've played Zombies in Spaceland and you enjoyed Zombies in Spaceland, you should definitely play this one as well.
My god!
But if you did not enjoy Zombies in Spaceland, then I probably wouldn't try this one.
Yeah, I'm pulling up my own gameplay. Why did I do that before? This is ridiculous. Let's get my own gameplay out here. There we go. Yeah, I mean, the lore there is shit. Well, the lore there is we spent an hour on the wrong version of the map, and once we got the right version, I mean, this to me is the second best custom Black Ops 3 Zombies map that they've made. It's not close to Leviathan, but I feel like this and Leviathan are head and shoulders above the rest of the custom maps so far that we've played. Like, as far as content and Easter eggs and what you do with the map, it has a lot.
The crystals, the wonder weapons.
I love the aesthetic. Like you said, it is Zombies in Spaceland. It's Infinite Warfare so hard. Like, you feel that on this map, the movement, not necessarily the movement, but like the weapons, the way that the zombies behave, the AI there, the aesthetic and all the artwork. It's so much Zombies in Spaceland, but it's water park themed, and I love that. Very vibey. Like, this map is one of my favorites to just run around and enjoy yourself on. If you feel like a kid playing this, there's a lot of cool dynamics going on, like the Niels robot, these fountains that will shoot you out. You can get a free ray gun Mark II and buy ammo on it. They have water guns, 4 different wonder weapons you can build. The
And the Easter egg is actually pretty interesting. Not only that, but they took the boss from Zombies in Spaceland and they actually made him like difficult, whereas Eye Laser actually does a concerning amount of damage to you if you're in his way.
oh yeah,
But it's not a difficulty where like if you're caught off guard, he just insta kills you like
yeah.
with the Panzers.
Whereas I want to find the clip. I mean, that guy shut our run down the first time when he spawned in the
Yeah.
map. He just like was a absolute yeah. There he is. This guy was a menace. I mean, he wasn't that crazy in Zombies in Spaceland, but they tuned him up in this game,
Yeah, they
and
did.
he was just an absolute
Especially the
monster.
Eye Laser. The Eye Laser,
Yeah.
if you get caught in that for more than 2 seconds, you're down.
Yep.
But it's not an insta kill, thank God.
But I just loved like there's just like a lot of IW zombies. They really put a lot of care and content in their maps. The music design, just the different buildables and side Easter eggs. Like this map has a ton of stuff, and I really enjoyed playing through it and learning the Easter egg. The Easter egg had a lot of good steps too. The boss fight they pretty much pulled from Attack of the Radioactive Thing, but I thought it was fine. I
I mean, Attack of the Radioactive Thing is one of the better boss fights.
Yeah, it's
and-
not bad. I really I enjoyed it. You fight around this tiki bar, and he has a couple of phases, so it's
and
not.
you have to use the glasses to see the weak points.
Yeah, so I enjoyed it. A lot of the steps were cool. The map overall had a great layout to it. Like there's a lot to set up and open up, but once it's all opened
Yeah.
up and you feel it out, it's a great map.
I think the biggest problem with this map is the amount of points you need just to get it open.
Mm-hmm.
But once that's done, the high rounding strats are pretty good.
Yeah, I was
There's a
about to
bunch
pull
of
that up.
locations you can do that.
We did
And
we did this one, which is like this is basically, if you haven't played this map, at the very center of it, and it's you go up a bunch of stairs up to this. Oh, we can actually do it right here. So you basically go up this giant slide, or you go up this giant stairway up to the top of the tallest slide, and you can just or sit up there and camp. It's really fun. Like aesthetically, it's beautiful up there. It's wonderful. It's magical. It's a vibe. And we did this for quite a few rounds, just sitting up here. If you get in trouble, you can do what I was doing, like slide down the slide or shoot zombies from this way. And then the last one, which I think it was the Brutus again that ended our run, was in the closet right here where Hasselhoff came
Yeah.
out of.
the Brutus was shooting us through the wall for some reason.
Yeah,
It was kind of weird. But at the end of the day, I would put this in the exact same place I would put Zombies in Spaceland. It just... There's enough change to where it feels like a different map, but there's enough similar where it's like, yes, it's that feel, it's that vibe. There's nothing glaringly wrong about the map. There's nothing that would off-put me from it. It's just the same as Zombies in Spaceland, or same ranking
yeah.
as Zombies in Spaceland for me.
And I would give it, because my Zombies in Spaceland's up there in SS, I would give it right below it.
Yeah.
Honestly, the vibe, I prefer this vibe. It's a water park and it's daytime. They do have a nighttime version, but I prefer the vibe of it over Zombies in Spaceland. But because it is modded, there's a lot of just differences that you feel. But I love the content. The special rounds had the crab guys too that were sprinting after you. Also, just touching on Zombies in Spaceland, it's still SS tier. It's still top 5. It's one of my favorite Zombies maps. But I tried to do the alien boss fight rush mode on Sunday for like 30 minutes. And the guys who were telling me get the Reaper, use the Shredder Wonder Weapon and these perks, they're all lying to you. Because it doesn't work.
You have to shoot him in the back.
No, you knife him in the back, but he has
Yeah.
like a green, a yellow, and then a red indicator to show how weak he is before he does this shield that then you can knife him. But I never even got to the red part, to even the first phase of knifing him. I ran out of ammo or I died before then. This boss, this alien boss is literally insane. I can't beat this guy. I can't beat this guy. But I love thematically you fighting an alien and aliens invading. And for both maps, I mean, the music, just the fun aspect, they're both super strong. So I loved it.
Yep.
It was a whole experience.
Revelations. I mean, are we talking about the whole Oh,
This is one of those
man.
that's like the opposite of almost all the maps, where my expectations, because of the skybox, were that it was going to be S tier. Like watching the Easter egg speed run, just looking over the map, I was like, damn, I've never played this, but I feel like this could actually be S tier. Looking at it, it's got 2 boss fights. The mid boss fight looks sick. Playing this map, doing the steps.
It's a B tier map. It's a fucking B tier map, and we both know it.
I mean,
Not only that, but the bug. If you are in 2-player, there's a bug. If you are in 2-player co-op, 2-player co-op only, and if you buy Mule Kick twice, and the Thunder Gun is in your second weapon slot, and only if all those conditions are right, if you go down 3 times, Mule Kick bought twice, you can't get the Thunder Gun again. It's impossible to get the Thunder Gun again. And we ran that shit for hours trying to get that fucking Thunder Gun.
yeah,
Oh my god, it just...
I literally have the timestamps. So where was it? It was when you went down. I went down at one point, and then you went down after. Let's see. I know it was like an hour and a half. It was about right here. Yeah, I think you died right here. No? Yeah, so about right here, Aiden died. And yeah, because he's spending all his money on the box and shit. So for over an hour, I trained in this room. And I just ran around hoarding zombies. As Aiden hit the box, we'd complete a round. He'd hit the box for 10 minutes, and then we'd start up another round. And I kept thinking.
I spent hundreds and thousands of points. Hundreds and thousands of points on the box.
I kept thinking. It's just so, it's insane. Our luck is insane. But we're going to get through it, because this was our first attempt. And I was like, we're going to get through it. We just got to stick with it. And it never came. And I spent an hour mindlessly doing this in this room. That was the first attempt. The second attempt, or maybe we had 2 more attempts after. I think we just had a second one. The second one, yeah. We did the boss fight, and we got up to the mid Easter egg boss fight, and I insta-downed at the very beginning somehow, and then I'm going to try and pull it up, but then I got walled off by the Origins variant of the boss fight, and insta-clapped. It's one of those where I feel like the skybox does so much for this map, but everything as far as the Easter egg and the gameplay, it just ain't it. It ain't it.
It ain't it. That's for fucking sure. So much of this Easter egg is just like random fucking steps, like shoot rocks in the sky, point these turrets at these rocks in the sky, get weapons from the box. It's just like...
I've all the perks, by the way, just to notice. Like, I'm literally stacked to the tits on this map, and let's just watch how I first lose them. Oh, I mean, I skipped 5 seconds. Yeah, look, it was this first step. Like, look, I'm getting hit by something. No zombies are on me, and I'm just dying the entire time. Like, look at my screen. I'm just dying, but nothing's on me. Okay.
I will say I love the different elemental Margwas,
yeah.
But the purple Margwa with the skulls is way too broken. The fact that the skulls can follow you for ages, and if you don't shoot all of them down, you're just going down.
This is where I died. Look.
Dead.
This dumbass wall blocks me right here. Look at that. Look, no wall right here. No wall. I turn around to shoot his eye, and the wall's there, Look at that, and I die. But I do think that boss fight, like, because we were on the final phase there, if we had done it, that was actually a really cool boss fight. The different phases, yeah, the puzzle solving at the beginning.
The boss fight is good, but so many of the steps are just...
They aren't interactive.
Tedious. Yeah, they're just not interactive, and there's no way to confirm that you did it. Like, with the upgrading the Apothecarian Servant, shooting those rocks around this... How many minutes did we waste just making sure we shot all the fucking rocks correctly?
Yeah.
And the bone step. How many minutes did we waste just running around?
Or like the keeper sitting for 3 minutes?
Missed?
Or like,
Yeah, and the keeper, ours glitched out like multiple times and wouldn't go near the triangle rock. And the fact that he glitched out again and didn't leave after he was done, there's just so many things not done properly in this map. And they add so much needless time to the run. It's just
yeah, it's a map I really wanted to love. And when you get in the groove of things and you're figuring out where the teleporters are, going to Noct and then using that as the hub, and you get a feel for it, it's kind of fun. But the steps are just so, they halt your pace. They're so uninteractive, uninspired, random as shit. And I thought the boss fights were gonna hold up, which they kind of did, but the experience overall was just kind of miserable. So I'm gonna give it a B.
yeah. Yep.
Rainy Death. I feel like it was a good map, and the Easter egg and the boss fight were some of the best, but it just doesn't have the zombies feel. That's my issue with it.
Well, that's kind of why I like it. The Rainy Death feels like a cross between Advanced Warfare and normal zombies to a certain extent, just as like a vibe-wise. It doesn't have any of those annoying Advanced Warfare zombies that jump at you from a million miles away, but like it just has a completely different vibe other than just regular zombies. And I feel like I enjoyed that since we had been just grinding zombies over and over and over again. And not only that, but the Easter egg steps were pretty fun. Feel like the only problem I have with the Easter egg is the fact that you need so many of those like
Oh yeah, to build
points.
up for the tokens
The
or whatever.
coin, yeah, the tokens for to even complete the Easter egg.
Yeah, and it's got this like futuristic kind of landscape to it with the metropolitan city and the rain. I mean, it's an okay vibe, but I don't know. There's just something off about it that I couldn't get behind. I still liked it. The Easter egg steps were pretty fun. The boss
The
fight was
boss
one of the
fight
best.
was unique
Yeah,
as fuck.
this was a great boss fight. But
And the
there's
fact that you could retry the boss fight and you didn't have to do the entire Easter
that
egg
was a nice
over
touch.
again.
That was a nice
That's
touch.
an amazing touch.
Yeah, these little trip mines were crazy. I liked it. I didn't think the gameplay was that much fun. I'm giving it A plus. I thought it was a solid custom map. The guy poured his heart into it, and it was enjoyable. But I don't think it's better than Evil Christmas. I honestly preferred the overall experience there, and maybe
I think I would put it in S tier. I enjoyed it a lot. I really did.
yeah, it was good. It was really good. Dead of okay, so now we did those, and then later that night, I think it was Thursday night or maybe Wednesday night, we moved into Black Ops 4, which there were two maps that we were mainly playing. Dead of the
Dead
Night.
of the Night. Now people dog on this map. They dog on it so hard. But all it comes down to, all of the challenge of the map is like game knowledge. And once you have that game knowledge, it's like Gorod Krovi, where the steps flow seamlessly and it feels good to be able to go from getting shit on to and not knowing how to unlock Pack-a-Punch to unlocking Pack-a-Punch in round 3 or 4 and getting started with the Easter egg immediately. And not only that, but the fact that they were going for a clue vibe, but they were not only going for a clue vibe, but they nailed the clue vibe, as well as I like the werewolf and the silver bullet mechanics. I think it all just flows so well together. I think it's an S tier map in my opinion.
Yeah, I would say, having never played it, was okay with never playing it. But now that I have, it really reminded me about Black Ops 4 again as a zombies game and how underrated it was. I mean, same thing with IW. I feel like both those zombies games are underrated. But especially the feel of going through a map in Black Ops 4, I feel like you get a full experience. Like, you're not really doing it for high rounding or for the goofiness and the fun factor on the map. You're doing it for the Easter egg and how in depth it is, how in depth the map is, and just how, like, I guess structured the experience is supposed to be. I felt that with Dead of the Night, where like each step had some intensity to it, like that garden
All the
area.
lockdown
Yeah, like
steps.
the
The
guardian
lockdown
area,
steps are
the
insane.
garden where the werewolves were. I feel like I was shocked that we made it out of that step. I kept thinking we were gonna fail it. The one with the knights in the woods. Um, I just felt like there was a lot of intense moments in the Easter egg and the steps. I mean, yes, there's a lot to clown on with all the scratch marks and going back in time and all the different random ass memorization parts of the map that you have to think
There
about.
is a lot of part locations and locations to memorize, but once you have those memorized, this map flows really well.
Yeah, I think it has a good flow. I love the cast of characters and the theme that it set out for. The cemetery, like I was training around there for a while, that was a vibe, and each step when we were doing the gameplay steps made me feel alive.
And I
I didn't.
know you didn't use
Yeah,
the wonder weapon, but the wonder
yeah.
weapon, I love it.
It's
I
like
love that
that when
weapon.
I was in fourth, fifth grade, and I was into Clone Wars. I kept dreaming of my favorite weapon of all time, and it was going to be like a sniper pistol, a pistol with a sniper scope, and that's what this weapon is. It's super cool. I didn't get to use it, but like from a just adjacent viewpoint, I thought that weapon was amazing, um, and just like how unique it is as far as it's not just you grab it from the box or something. It's got its
Yeah,
own little
you
side quest and multiple upgrades. So I like the map a lot more than I thought I would. I don't think it's my favorite, but it is so much better than a lot of the average maps. I would put it bottom of S. I don't think it tops these from experience. The boss fight was pretty good too, but yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I think the biggest hurdle is just getting into the map. Just knowing where all the part locations are and where all the scratch marks are. The
And that it's
scratch
on
marks
BO4.
could, yeah, and BO4. It's just, but once you do, once you know where all that stuff is, you're never going to be disappointed with the map. There's high rounding strats, there's wonder weapon strats that you can do. The Easter egg will never make you feel like, oh, this is it. This is all this map has to offer. You will never feel that in this map.
Yep.
There's just more and more and more and more, and even in the side Easter eggs, like most of them we didn't even go through. But off rip, there's a side Easter egg where if you press F on 4 books in a certain order, you can get 1,000 points for free. And I don't know. There's just so many ways that you can work around the pitfalls of this map.
Yeah, I feel like all the Black Ops
Pretty
4
fluently.
maps, including this one, just have a lot of content and depth to them, but it's just the gameplay feel of Black Ops 4 that holds them back in some of the systems. But
Yeah.
I also like, and we'll talk about it, especially with Ancient Evil, a lot of Black Ops 4 maps too have a huge emphasis on the shield and building it as well as keeping it upgraded or equipped and repairing it, and then in the Easter egg steps themselves, like Dead of the Night has it, you running through the traps and stuff. Ancient Evil that we talk about now, I would say Ancient Evil is SS tier. I would say
Really?
it's top tier. I would put bottom of SS because all of these, if you look at them, besides these two maps, are Black Ops 3 mainly. Like their core engine is Black Ops 3. And so from a feel, I feel like Ancient Evil kind of, that's like the biggest issue, is that the movement, the way that the zombies feel like they're 16 feet wide. I feel like all that holds it back, but this map was incredible. I loved the lore of it, the lore implications, the cinematics, the setting. You've got the overworld that has each of the different temples, and then you have the underworld with like the Python's path and stuff. I thought the transition to the underworld through the
The
Pegasus was
gauntlets
insane.
are unique
Oh
in
yeah, it's one of
the
those.
gauntlets are amazing
It's like one
because
of
they're
those where,
unique in their own ways where like they have different effects and how you use them, but they all are pretty much even in like viability.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like they work in different ways, but there's not one gauntlet where you're just like, oh, I'm always picking this one over all the others. The
Yeah.
only one that's an outlier that you could say is maybe the Gaia gauntlet, just because it takes so long to kill
And you
after
don't
the
have to
fact.
upgrade it for the Easter egg. But
Yeah,
like all of them too, unless you play and actually build them and use them, you don't feel the differences. But like even the light or the solar one, using that as a laser beam and drifting it around the map was super super sick. And just all the different feel of each of the wonder weapons, all the steps to upgrade them are unique.
Yes.
I mean,
The upgrade steps are amazing. The Charon where you have to go around in a one-shot mode, or not one-shot, where you don't regenerate health and find all the coins. If you're doing that mid-round, that step is insane. I mean, you did that shit
I was
mid-round.
hoping you weren't going to say it, but yeah, I do know. Yeah, I love the wonder weapon system in this map. It might be. I mean, I'm trying to think.
Also, the shield is the best shield that we've ever had in zombies.
From a, I don't know. I really like Rod Crovies, but yeah, I think this one has more to offer. It, like the way that you use it in the Easter egg steps, the power of it being able to one shot and throwing a spear. I just, dude, I want to. This is out of all the maps besides Grod Crovy, I want to play this one again and do the full Easter egg because we did all of Dead of the Night on the first attempt. We failed Ancient Evil once or twice because the trials we didn't understand, and that was a pain point. But once you understood them, we got all the way up to the second to last step, and I mean, just like Dead of the Night, like all the Black Ops 4 Easter eggs, the experience is just a total experience. The steps are so in depth. There's a bunch of just puzzle solving as well as gameplay and time challenges. I mean, half the steps on Ancient Evil I was surprised we beat, and I don't know. I just love the uniqueness of this map. It does all the right things except for it being on Black Ops 4. And yeah, I love the Easter egg steps. I wish I would have done the boss fight too, but it's still SS for me. And that's shocking too because I did 9. I've done a lot of 9, and that was my first full Easter egg, so I have a lot of nostalgia for it. But I would much rather play Ancient Evil. I feel like it's a sick map.
I don't know. I kind of like Dead of the Night, but that's more than Ancient Evil. I'd put Ancient Evil in S tier as well, but that's just me. I just have a hard-on for Dead of the Night, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we all have hard-ons. All right, so there's only a few left. I put all of the Black Ops 6 maps back down there to talk about, but the last one I've got, unless you have any others, is Rave in the Redwoods, which I did on Sunday. And I loved IW Zombies when I played it. I played the shit out of Zombies in Spaceland, and it was always one of my favorites, but I never did any of the DLC, except for when we did the boss rush modes. Rave in the Redwoods is low-key an S-tier map for me. I would put it above Dead of the Night, too. I'd put it bottom of S. It is the second best map on IW. I don't think it lives up to Zombies in Spaceland, but there's so much personality and uniqueness to this map that like you just don't see or feel until you play it. The setting of it being in like this rave in the Redwoods, it's super cool. You spawn in this cabin. The vibe is immaculate. It's nighttime, and there's a bunch of like, it's a camp. I mean, you've got the cabin, and there's like golf clubs and a bunch of weird melee weapons that you can pull out. There's not amusement park. There's like a, what do you call it? Adventure course where you can do like your player can actually climb up on the wall and do a bunch of interesting adventure activities. There's a whole rave section with a stage and a bunch of music playing. There's like a boat docks area. There's like the Turtle Island where you do a bunch of the Easter egg and the boss fight. I feel like this map just has so many unique locations on it, and the vibe overall is just immaculate. The special rounds are like these big feet guys, and those dudes are crazy. They literally got one shot on one hit. Every hit they do red screens you, and they can just randomly lunge at you. It's like it's harder than the clowns on Zombies in Spaceland because you can't one shot them either. They're very strong. And then I love the thing about the vibe too is without the rave mode, it's great. But then when you put on the rave mode, it might be the best vibe in Zombies. Like the way
when the zombies glow?
Yeah, like that's when the color changes, and I don't have any footage of it, but like yeah, it's when everything's just rainbow colored effects and it's super neon and all that and bright, and that is just such a vibe to me. And the crazy thing about it too is when you put them on, or when you go in rave mode, the only time there's like a map dynamic, kind of like a George Romero, with this guy called what's his name, the Slasher, and so he's the Slasher. And he only appears if you are in rave mode. And he's George Romero, where you can't kill him. He just walks around the map as long as you're in rave mode. So a lot of people don't even go in rave mode because of that dude. And my last attempt that I did, I died because of it. Because dude, I love this map. Like it reminded me of playing IW Zombies again, where a bunch of the steps and just the theme of the map is kind of silly. Like, you go to this campsite, go to this turtle island, you grab a bunch of sausages off the grill, you throw these sausages at a fucking deer head to upgrade the wonder weapons. And like I was mid throwing a sausage at the deer head, and I got fucking clapped in the back by the slasher. The Also super underrated. I won't show it, but I was watching Lex's round 100 on this map, and so they've got crossbows, and they've got 4 wonder weapon crossbows, and each of them have unique effects. Like, one's acid rain, that just super colorful and fun to use. There's like a thunder gun looking one. There's a wolf's one that's like a lightning bow, and then the one that I love that's just is the Trap-O-Matic. So I don't know if you've heard of the Trap-O-Matic, but it's the harpoon gun.
Yeah.
It literally is a harpoon gun. You shoot one shot, shoot another, and it connects, and it's electric trap. And so Lex was doing this round 100 strat where you just have all the bows or all the crossbows, and you train around the rave area, and then you just run up on a railing, use the Trap-O-Matic, just cycle the bows. And the crossbows are a lot of fun to use. Each one feels different. Yeah, I like this map a lot. I think it's at least S tier. It's super underrated. And the Easter egg steps are pretty fun. Like, it's a very short Easter egg. But the boss fights in IW Zombies are really well done. Like, this guy... Oh, the worst part of the map is the boat ride. Yeah, I think the boat ride to Turtle Island's ass. It's literally like a 60-second unskippable, boring-ass boat ride. But the boss fight is it David Smith or Matt Smith? He's like a horror movie guy. And basically there's a whole lore of him and his really good friend, and he was looking for his friend the entire map, but it turns out he was the one who killed him because he becomes this super slasher monster at night or something. And so the final cutscene is that you're in the boat with him, and he realizes that it was him. He jumps in the water, turns into this giant slasher, and then you fight him on the island. And the actual mechanics of the boss fight are really good. Like, 3 phases, you collect souls, then you attract him to a point where you can hit his weak points, and then you have like a lockdown where the floor is lava step and zombies start crowding you and you have to survive it, and you have to do that 3 different times, and then the last phase you just lay into them. I thought it was a really good boss fight, so it's S tier, bottom of S for me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean,
Terminus.
yeah, to touch on these, you want to start with
I-
Terminus or Liberty Falls?
Terminus, after playing through all the other zombies maps and doing everything.
We played Terminus again as well. We did the Easter egg again.
Yeah, we did the Easter egg again for Terminus. And we did the Easter egg again for Liberty Falls. I mean, I think I gotta knock Terminus down a bit, and I'm putting it in S, top of S tier. Actually, no, bottom of SS. Because, I mean, the boss fight is amazing. Probably one of the best boss fights. But something about it, just the lack of uniqueness, I guess, to the maps. I don't know. It's maybe has something to do with like the Warzone feel to zombies, something that I'm just not a fan of. It's just it really misses a whole nother layer that a lot of these other maps have. Yes, it's amazing in almost every respect, and with the new mechanics that it has, and the wonder weapon is kind of unique. It doesn't do dick for damage, but it slows zombies and stuff. But it really is just missing that X factor, you know, that like Origins has, Shadows of Evil has, Gorod Krovi has. It's just like there's nothing else that feels like those maps.
Yeah, it's lacking kind of an identity or a personality. It does have a little bit of a theme with it being around the ocean, and then the map dynamic is the Kraken or the tentacle monster throughout it, and it ended up being the boss fight. But it does lack a certain personality or tint to it. I agree with that. I would lower it too. Like I think I had it number one or tied for number one with Shadows and Origins. I would say Leviathan. This is Leviathan, and then it goes in the other orders. And I would take Terminus down from where it was to towards the bottom of SS. I mean, it's probably better than Water Park Zombies. Um, yeah, I'd separate Zombies in Spaceland and Water Park. I think it's better than those. We could spend an hour just talking about the different Zombies games and the mechanics and gameplay and the best and the worst of each. But I feel like that's why I had this map so high up in Liberty Falls too, is that Black Ops 6 Zombies, when we first played it, and even now it's amazing, but so much of the map and the fun that you have is just the gameplay and the mechanics of Black Ops 6 Zombies. Not necessarily the map itself. It's like the systems, the armor,
Yep.
the perk machines, the buildables to becoming a mangler and stuff. Like there's all that plays into your experience. And so when you take that away and it's just the map, it lowers it. But I still think as a map, it's really cool on this deserted island that's got a bunch of weird testing going on. There's a lot of different areas to like vibe out to. Like there's the prison area at the start of the spawn. There's the courtyard. There's a lot of verticality where you go even below, and then you've got the turret platform. You've got the biolab. You have all the little smaller islands around the main island that you boat to. The abandoned ship. I feel like it has some good locales, and
Yep.
like the Easter egg steps too. The Easter egg's really good. It's a lot of fun, but when you take away the wonder weapon upgrade part, it's not that much of an Easter egg.
Yeah. Most of, or like half of the Easter egg is just building the wonder weapon.
Yeah. But the
And
steps are cool. 2 boss fights. Nathan was a really, really solid boss fight. I love the speed run strats and the tech on this map, like throwing C4 on the island with the insta kill to just melt Nathan. It has really good cutscenes, and yeah, I still stand by like Patient 13 being one of the best bosses, if not the best. So the gameplay holds it up a lot, but as a map, it does fall a little bit more. It's still SS for me, though.
yeah. And Liberty Falls, I think, fell a bit for me too. I think if we were ranking survival maps, like maps that don't really have like that are just meant to just like you and your friends chill out on a zombies map and go to high rounds and do XP, grind camos, whatever. I still think Liberty Falls is probably the best survival map, but I think it really just, I don't know.
The gameplay of Liberty Falls is S tier, maybe even SS. It's so quick to get into the action. It's perfect for camo grinding, survival, just having fun with friends. But the aura, the atmosphere, the aesthetic, it's just
So
not a zombies map. It doesn't feel that way. And so I had it S tier. I'm gonna move it to A below town because just from a vibe, I would rather pick town. But gameplay wise, it's better than a lot of maps.
Yeah.
But I'm making
But,
an exception
I mean,
where the gameplay doesn't
in the
necessarily matter.
broad fucking daylight, and there's nothing unique about it. It's just like,
Well,
that's
it does
the
have
problem
some.
with these Black Ops 6 maps, is like, there's no like dragon that comes in and breathes fire. There's no rocket that you can launch that is not on any other map. There's no plant system that gives you so much variety in gameplay. There's
doesn't-
no unique mechanic to the map that separates it from all the other Black Ops 6 maps.
Yeah, it doesn't really separate from that, but as a map, like it has some of the best side Easter eggs, like the bowling
It
alley
does.
one, the Authorella statue, and how you can use that in the boss fight. All the different perk power ups that you can pick up. It has
But
a lot
if
of.
you're
Cool
using this
side
map
Easter
how
eggs.
it was intended as like a survival map and grinding camos, you're not doing any of that stuff other than like getting the double points or getting the extra points from the explosive on the top of the church or insta
Yeah.
kills and stuff.
I do
It's
think it's
just like,
fallen. I mean, it's one of those where the gameplay is so good, but it's just not a interesting map.
yeah.
Um,
And then
last but not
Citadel
least,
Des Morts.
I mean, this is a hot one.
It, in my opinion, this map was such a disappointment. The map size doesn't feel that big. Half of the map is outside. And I swear to God, if Kevin Drew makes another fucking map in the broad ass daylight, I am going to choke him out. Like, it's not that hard to make a nighttime skybox. Why do you keep making daytime ones? You're a fucking idiot. And also that the number of bugs in the Easter egg is so annoying.
I mean,
The
there was
bug
only
with
really
the
one.
lions. No, because I ran into a bug with the lion sword where the symbols, when you shot them, they wouldn't go into the lion sword properly, and the bug where the mystical orb wouldn't come down from the sky, and you had to like slide jump off of the
But like
top
that, I mean,
terrace in order
are we
to get
really
it.
going to play the map down because of launch bugs? I mean, it's going to get fixed. It's
I
not,
mean, yeah,
and we
but
were able to overcome those, which is
and like with all the maps that I love, all the maps that are in SS tier, there's never a point in any of those maps where I was like, is that it? Is that all this map has to offer? But in this map, it was. The Easter egg, other than upgrading the swords, is like 2 steps. The boss fight sure was really fun, but the fact that you use a power drill instead of the fucking wonder weapons to fight him and beat him faster is ridiculous. I mean, there I don't know. I had so much high hopes for this map that when I got in and I played it and I saw how small the map was and I saw how short the Easter egg was, I was
see,
just
that's
severely
where I think you're
disappointed.
falling off because the problem with this map is that one, the hype of it being the first DLC map, the location and all the leaks, like people were really excited about it. So I feel like there was a lot of just hype built into it that you didn't necessarily have with Terminus or Liberty Falls. Like people thought Liberty Falls was just going to be straight dog shit, and so that's why it was such a little fun surprise. So the hype definitely hurt it, but also if we had played this map before Terminus, it would kind of be a flip ranking because we would have experienced Black Ops 6 mechanics and gameplay for the first time. And so we would have thought, oh my god, we get to become manglers and drop chopper gunners and do all this crazy shit. So I feel like that hurt it too, is that the novelty of the gameplay of the Black Ops 6 system, you don't feel that as much in this game. You already are used to it. Though to me, the
Which is
biggest.
why I think Terminus is gonna fall even lower for me as time goes on because the novelty of the Black Ops 6 mechanics is gonna wear off more and more and more.
But I mean, even though
And
it's wearing off from a surprise standpoint, I still think it's extremely solid. Like, I mean, it's up there with Black Ops 3 for my favorite zombie system. So I don't. Yeah, I'm sure I'm now used to it, but that's not to say I don't prefer it. Like I absolutely love mantling and a bunch of the stuff that they did. So for me, Citadel, it's top of S, not SS tier. It's the top though, because yeah, I wish it was nighttime, more fire, more something to edge out
more
the aura.
more of the map should have been inside the castle, or just extend the inside of the castle. I mean, there should have been a whole nother floor to the inside of the castle.
But the map
There's
was
just
pretty
not
big. I think if
enough.
you actually measured the square footage and just all the rooms and stuff on the map, you would be
I
surprised
think
by
it
how
would
big
be
it is.
about the size of Liberty Falls.
No, I think it's bigger than you expect, than you realize. It's a lot bigger than you give it credit. But also, it's not necessarily meant to be a Shadows of Evil map. It's not meant to be this huge bombastic map with a million things of content and all of that. It's like I was watching the speed
It
runs.
doesn't really matter if
The
that's not that.
Yeah, because if like just like Liberty Falls is, it's meant to it has a certain purpose for it. Now I'm going to rate it as a map in general and not necessarily care about that, but I think there is that extra care you got to give it because it's not meant to be this huge map. It's meant to be a core experience of building the wonder weapons, upgrading them, and doing the boss fight. And when you're watching speedruns or when you're watching people just play the map for the objectives, it's actually insanely high octane. It's even better than Terminus in my mind when you watch it. Just all the ways that you can tie in the different upgrades together throughout the map and like use the bonfires to speed run around and just the optimization and multitasking and decision making that you have going on throughout the whole speed run is insane. Um, I
Yeah, but like doing this Easter egg versus like a Black Ops 4 Easter egg, it's night and day. It took years for the Dead of the Night speed run to get down to where it is
That's because no one
today.
wanted to play that dog shit map. But
No, bunch of people played it.
I,
But and this, it's taken like a week for it to get to what, sub 20? Fucking ridiculous.
well,
It's fucking
also, yeah, it
ridiculous.
has less steps. The steps are less tedious, and
And not only that, but if you didn't have to build all the swords, this Easter egg would be so short.
yeah, but I
If you
mean,
just had to build one sword, you'd be done with this Easter egg in
but
like
that's a big feature of the
15
map.
fucking minutes.
It's like Origins. Like that's a big feature of the map. You take away the Easter egg steps of that, or those steps, it does shorten the map. So, I mean, you can't necessarily take it away. I love I love the wonder weapons. I wish that they were a little more powerful or they felt different. But overall, I think they're great additions because you can just use them in the melee slot. The boss fight, they've been killing the boss fights. I think the boss fight was sick. His arena was insane. The mechanics of it, how the lava closes in, and he has like that's the other thing. It's just the gameplay, like the flow and the speed and the pace and the gameplay of this map is so strong. That's why even though it doesn't have the vibe, it may not have the personality, it may not have the size and the content. Just the quality of its content is so good. And like the other thing too is we're discounting one key thing about this map. The also and the whole like solving of Easter eggs, it also is just the day and age where like there's data miners and shit. Like think about the Raven step, how quickly that was solved. There's a lot of stuff that just got solved because players are better now, technology's better, so it's a lot easier to solve stuff. So that's why it gets done quicker. But the parry. The parry. I mean, you can parry amalgams.
I mean,
You can
in
parry
concept,
in gameplay,
yes.
not even in concept, in
No.
actual practice. The practice
The only
of
time I even really used the parry was when I got grabbed by an amalgam or during the boss
yeah,
fight.
and that's
Other
like
than that, it's pretty much fucking useless.
but it's a drastic. I mean, it's not useless. It has like those are two huge purposes. The amalgams that everybody, and that's the big thing is like people are just not thinking about how much they improved existing stuff on the game. The lightning incantations one shot the amalgams. Those guys aren't even a problem, and you can grab lightning incantations anywhere. And then you can also parry the amalgams if they grab you and get them to fuck off you. You can parry the boss, which is one of my favorite interactions. So I just feel like the parrying adds a lot too, just hype, and the gameplay is so strong.
There's just not enough on this map for me to put it anything above A tier.
It may lack in content.
It's just lacking so much for me. And daytime again. I mean, after the outrage that they heard from daytime on Liberty Falls, they're like, "Hey guys, I got a great idea. Let's make the next map daytime."
But if
You're a genius.
like if you're looking at all these maps below it and even all the maps on the same tier and some of above it, it's just because the gameplay is so fast and fluid with Black Ops 6 that you don't even realize how much content's there. Think about all the side Easter eggs. They have so many side Easter eggs on this map. The power-ups, the rat side quest, the free PhD. There's like a lot of side quests that we just quickly solve or can do that so much of these maps don't have. But because they just take longer to open up the map or play around and move around, you don't think that it's that much. But yeah, it's
No,
not.
it just isn't that much. There's
I,
just not that much to do on this map.
I'd say there's more to do on Citadel than there is Origins.
That you're just fucking hot.